Welcome back, Officers Republics. Your Coruscant Honorable Police Chief APGAINS. Just want to do a quick video that's kind of topical because it's related to, one, the Leviathan farm, but also just being sneaky and cheeky and unloved by people who spend lots of money. We're going to talk about the secret Galactic legend, and I gotta go, so this will hopefully be a fairly short video. But what do you want out of a really good team? Obviously, as the game has progressed, the optimal farming path has changed a lot. It used to be doing this, it used to be doing that. Now it's very much centered around ships and backbone teams, right? And for those of you guys who don't know, backbone teams are teams that are not Galactic Legends, but they have punch-up potential. I accidentally leaked the secret Galactic Legend here, so I guess it's no problem to show you the backbone teams. They're teams like Mandalorians, Starkiller, Malgus, Radis, Jedi Knight Luke, Afra, the Grand Inquisitor team, especially with Reva. Tuskens are a joke. I don't know why they're still here. Cal Kestis, and of course, the only character that's been successfully able to jump from an auxiliary team to a backbone team. And obviously, there's the addition of, Talon definitely helped out. The SWGOH Omicron definitely helped out, and the Traya Omicron definitely helped out. So if you have all three of those pieces, of course, with Scion and Nihilus to give you, dispels and lots of dispels, cooldown reduction, and of course annihilates and stuff like that. This team is just so unbelievably broken, and it's one of those things where, like, if you talk to an endgame player, they're like, oh yeah, Trey, that's a good team. Most people, if they use it for offense and they're, one of the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 spenders, like, oh, I just use it to beat Reva, which is like, one of the most fucked up teams in the game. But what people don't realize is even with fairly minimal investment on this team, especially with the new raid making Gear 12 super easy, it draws a Galactic Legend. I'm just looking at GG just off the top. Most common counters: SLKR, C, JMK, more C, more C, more SLKR, more SLKR, more SLKR, C. Starkiller, not great win percentage. Gas doesn't do super well, but has the opportunity to win. Mirror matches, of course, JML. Even JML struggles. Afra gets absolutely dogged. Bounty Hunter Annihilate teams obviously get dogged because there's lots of assists. Of course, Inquisitors, not Inquisitors, of course, Imperial Troopers get dogged. CLS get dogged. If I remove the cutoff, you see a couple of more Galactic Legends come on here, a lot more SLKRs, a lot more Cs, a lot more JMKs and stuff like that. Now, it's not to say that you can't win with JMK. It's a 100% win with JMK, but if you're drawing out a JMK, I mean, you've pretty much fucked up your opponent. But I don't think you play this team to draw out the JMK. You play this team because if you're anywhere under, say, Kyber 2, if you're Kyber 3, 4, 5, or anywhere in the rest of the leagues, obviously your investment level on these characters is going to differ. Like, a lot of people could probably get away with solid Gear 12 across the board with only one Omicron as opposed to no SWGOH Omicron. As you see, I've done zero investing into, just for the purpose of this video, I want to be a good sport because this is something I'm going to want to do after Leviathan anyway. You're going to really, really, really want to bring up this team because a lot of people don't know what it does. A lot of people say, oh yeah, Trey, I saw Arnold do it in a video, or I saw it on a stream, or I watched blah, blah, blah. Like, if you haven't actively fought against this team a ton, and trust me, it's really fucking annoying to fight this team, especially if you haven't saved an extra Galactic Legend, or if you're like me and your opponents have like 6 Galactic Legends and you have 2, and they have 4 GLs on defense plus Traya and all the shit, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do? How am I going to win this? This team is the embodiment of what a backbone team should be. It's got punch-up viability. You could beat things like Reva, which are just incredibly fucked up. You can probably beat a couple of Galactic Legends, though I would recommend that you probably place it on defense. It gives you that defensive viability that backbone teams are very known for. Drawing out counters that are either way too much of an investment so you can beat people on other ends of the zone. You put it down south and it draws people down there, but then they don't have enough for up top and they can't open ships and then blah, blah. Like, it gives you wiggle room. It gives you strategy. It gives you punch-up potential. It gives you defensive potential. It is the epitome of a backbone team, and that's why it's fantastic. And Secret Galactic Legend, I don't think that that's necessarily a reach, because that's kind of the definition of a backbone team is Secret Galactic Legend, where in certain situations against certain counters, it gives you the flexibility of having another Galactic Legend, right? Because tell me, especially now with Leviathan coming out, right? Tell me to my face, like, look me in the eyes and tell me, you see your Kyber 4, your 6 million GP, and you see this on defense. Well, I guess not with Talon, because Talon is now going to be somewhere else. But let's say fucking Assassin's there for whatever reason. She actually does offer some viability to the team. But you see Malgus and you see 2 Relic 9s here, and you see Basilichon, and then there's like some random Datacron. Maybe they throw, well, probably not throwing in something like Maul, but they throw in Maul with the Maul Datacron. Like, tell me you see this and you don't immediately say like, holy shit, this is worse probably than having a JML on defense, something like that. Like, that's why these teams are so important, especially Maul, especially Malgus. I get a lot of flack for things like Radis, but Radis definitely follows the what's it called, the Admiral Akbar philosophy of, and this is just one of my all-time favorite Galaxy of Hero memes. Admiral Akbar for a while had the highest hold percentage of any character, including Galactic Legends, for a while, right? And it was simply, and it's not because the Akbar is good, it's because they came out with an Omicron, and he's been dog shit forever, right? And that Omicron did just enough to make it so that what people were used to throwing at it would just get absolutely shit on. You know, even characters like Radis are going to be able to do that. I mean, how many times have you guys gone against a strong Radis team and you've underprepared and you're like, oh shit, wait, I actually can't win this. I got to back out and I got to bring in a serious team, right? That happens to my opponents all the time when I place this on defense. I can't tell you how many times this gets holds. And it occasionally still happens to me, right? Where I go against something like a Radis expecting it to be a pushover, and I'm like, oh shit, there's R8s and there's R5s and there's, you know, assuming you have anyone but Harrison Dula, maybe you have K2SO, and you're just like, wait a second, I can't get around the taunt. They're healing. They have a couple of revives. I can't kill them until I get Radis. And if Radis pops ult, everyone comes back at full HP, full protection, and I'm fucked, right? So I think this Treya team, especially, the more investment you put into it, like let's say you have a Savage Omicron here as well. Not the Savage one's coming out. This team is going to absolutely dominate defensive Grand Arenas for you. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, APGAINS, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. If you have a break in your farming, like let's say you just finished a Jabba, or let's say you're like me and you're about to finish a Leviathan or something like that, and you're looking for a nice little plug-in team, right? Gives you some height, of course, because it's powerful, but it also gives you a little bit of width in that it's not going to be a full Galactic Legend or a full Galactic Legend ship farm to where you're going to be just bogged down with requirements forever and ever and ever, and it's going to be an entire fucking year before you can do anything. And you're looking for a team that's going to give you real, tangible, fantastic benefits that will lead to more Grand Arena wins. This is the team. And I know all of the endgame players who are watching this are like, this is so obvious, but like my audience is still mostly early and mid-game players where, you know, you're not dealing with a lot of stuff, and this is one of the teams that has flown under the early and mid-game radar for far too long. For far too long, I have gone without seeing these really fucked up Treya teams because everyone kind of slots her in. And I've been guilty of this myself, to be perfectly frank. I've been guilty of this myself as well. People slot her in as, oh, if there's Geos on the back wall, I just put in a triumvirate trio and the Geos kill themselves and then I AoE and they're dead, right? Like, if that's what you're viewing this team as, sure. But if you view this team as, this is my secret Galactic Legend, I'm going to have 50% of my opponents are going to have no fucking idea what they're doing, and 50% are going to have to overinvest, and either way I'm going to win, you're going to come out on top. All right. 28,000, just 28,000 subscriber June, where we try to just get 28,000 subscribers to help fuel my ego and other things. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.